Go! Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to Sigil Radio. My name is George Hadley. I'm with an absolute don, none other than DJ Buxley. Buxley, what you
Appreciate it, man. What an intro.
We will get more into it, but I have to do a few little things. One, I need to promote our first event of 2025 as Some Seller. I know this sounds mad as a promoter. I'm probably one of the worst people to promote my own event, Like, I just either forget to do it or just say, come down, it'll be busy. But I don't really go mad about it. So, everyone, 29th of March, I've put all tickets at £4, only £4, everyone's skin. So, take full advantage of that. I think we've done about 80, which is sweet, man. We'll take that. We'll take that. If I can get to 100 before the first, that'd be really cool.
It's also dry Jan as well. So
dry Jan.
Yeah, the fact that you're doing those numbers as well, it's still good, still impressive.
If you think about it, dry Jan and £4 is probably the same as a pint. So Yeah,
it's true.
No, I didn't think about that until now. So yeah, replace a Carlin for Some Seller ticket. So. One other quick thing I want to do as well is I want to big up all of the guests I had last year. So B15 Project was like the perfect first guest. So talkative, so much experience, like blowing me away all for that 1 hour, like from doing gigs with the specials to, making B15 Project a girl like us. Just so much top of the pops, serious stories, and that really gave me some confidence to kick on. And then I had I-Man from One Dub, full of wisdom, full of enlightenment. And then we did talk a lot about Aston Villa, which, well, my uncle's a Blues fan, and he said he had to turn it off after 10 minutes because we must have spoke for about half an hour about football.
Oh, serious? So I'm a United fan.
Oh, mate, so Rangers tonight.
Fan, man. Oh, yeah, for real. Yeah, Rangers tonight. Boy, I think our team's rubbish, man. No hope at all, man.
The manager's just not feeling it at the moment, is he? He's being very honest about the squad, but...
Yeah, man. But I think that's what's important as well. You need to be honest sometimes and have that sort of expectation, innit? You know what I mean?
What do you think will happen to Rashford? He's a big talking point, man.
You know what? I just need people who are willing to just, play for the club, innit? So, yeah, man. That's what it's about.
It's difficult, as you can see that he's not... Mate, this is how we end up talking about football for 30 minutes. You can see that he sort of lost that enjoyment for it, I think. And when Man U fans have been on his case and pundits have been on his case for so long, I get it. It must be difficult, but... Yeah, man. On the other hand, you're playing for Man United, like...
Yeah, you're earning serious money as well, man. There's no excuse,
Yeah, the money is outrageous. Like, it's... I can't even imagine... Like... I would get slide tackled every 2 seconds for a tenth of that money.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just another guest I wanted to touch on quickly before we kick things off. Jim Shaff-Ryan, what an absolute darn. I can't get over how much that guy has done, from setting up Miss Moneypennies to he's now doing poetry, and so wise, and also just partied, seriously partied, bro. And he's just full of knowledge. He hasn't completely battered himself. He seems in good nick. So,
serious.
Yeah, man. And, to be running nightclubs, to be partying the way he's partied with, like, some, people like Robbie Williams. He said he had the Spice Girls at his club in the 90s. It was pretty cool. And he's still doing some really cool shit as well. He's... working on a musical with the what are they called now? Bond Street Singers, which was I saw at Hockley. That was amazing. So yeah, it's cool. It's been a really good 2024 in terms of the guests I've had on. So
what would you say is like the one thing you took out from like that whole conversation with him?
I think his journey, and I think he's quite fearless. So he's someone he come from Handsworth. He's set up, him and his brother set up a clothes shop. Then they sold tickets for events from their clothes shop. But they had so many people from so many different events and fashion he almost created his own network that way. And also, they were fashionable as well because of the clothes shop.
Oh, okay.
So,
I get what you're saying.
and then he was able to take his parties to London. He had a residency club in Ibiza.
Oh, sick.
Just in that era as well, like that late 90s, early 90s. That's the dream, man.
Yeah, it is. Doing abroad shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's but I think people tend to like forget that it's like a lot of people go out to have fun, but at the end of the day, it's work as well. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, I'm sure they're back and forth traveling to different countries and all of that stuff. He must have. I'm surprised that you said that he was able to still be mentally sane, because a lot of people in our industry, they're not mentally okay in terms of like they're just knackered. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure he's a lecturer at one of the universities.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. So I mean, it kind of blows me away how he's so intelligent.
Yeah.
And he's also done a lot of partying, really into his music, really into poetry, and from humble beginnings as well, and just kept pushing, kept pushing for stuff, creating his own clothing brands, everything. I find it really inspirational.
Yeah, man, it is, man.
Cool.
It is.
One last thing I need to touch on. So, this Fred Perry shirt here, I need to show it off. 2 seconds.
It's showing it off.
I'd like to big up Darrell Elijah. So Darrell's from Handsworth, and he has made this T-shirt with Fred Perry. So this is all about his community, his upbringing. It's all photos from his childhood, all over the top, with some cool poetry bits, pictures of him and his mom when he was younger, and the fact he was able to collaborate with Fred Perry as well.
Yeah, that's dope. It's dope.
Mate, the trailer that he done for this was seriously cool, man. Like everything from, upbringing to the people around him to stories. All about Handsworth, all about Birmingham. And you know what? He's not a bad footballer as well. He reminds me very much of like Berbatov.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, man.
Finesse.
But he's also one of those guys where you're in space, like, bro, come on, pass, man.
Yeah,
and he's just not. He's
Just probably doesn't trust you.
To be fair, I was in goal, so.
You're goalkeeper?
I'm a goalkeeper, man. Yeah.
I would have not expected that from you,
Only in the five-a-side goals, bro. I'm not tall enough to do.
Oh, fair.
No. So I used to play in goal till I was about year 8, and I just realised I just wasn't getting any taller, and that was becoming a problem in goal. So
crazy.
So five-a-side was the
not even like a right back. Not like.
Even like up front.
Yeah.
I'm quite moody up front. I'm quite annoying, but.
Well, like Dean Windass, sort of. Or
Dean Windass.
It was a baller, It was a baller.
I kind of felt like he should have been playing rugby or just down the pub.
Didn't you just say like you like?
Yeah, to be fair,
or was you like a finesse player?
Nah, no finesse. Only by mistake.
Oh,
Sometimes you go.
Fairs.
How did you do that then? You're like, I don't know, but he kind of worked. Okay, less of me and Dean Windass. I need to do an introduction to my guest. Yeah, so I'm with Box Out legend, founder, Box Out Festival. But I've had to write down everything you do, bro, and it just blows my head how much you're doing.
Thank you.
This is Buxley, DJ Buxley. Come on.
Thank you.
So, what I wanted to, initially get to know you is like how you first set up Box Out, and what was like your first real flavour of wanting to create events and
create
a brand.
From young, I've always been sort of entrepreneurial. I've always had that sort of entrepreneurial spirit. Stems from even like I used to sell like biscuits and sweets in school. Like I had the canteen out of business. I had a whole operation. I had like year 7s bringing in the food for me and all of that stuff. So I've always been very like entrepreneurial, and I've always wanted to work for myself. So initially that's how I started my entrepreneurial journey. And then in college, I did some events with some friends, and they actually pulled out a couple of days before the event because they thought people weren't going to come. Yeah, don't mind me saying this, but I stuck with my guns, and I gave them their money, and I was like, you know what, like, let's do this event. And people came, and it was sold out, to be fair. And it just made me realize that I was just like, you know what, like, I enjoy music, I enjoy DJing. When I was 16, I put on my first event, which I could have bailed out on, and it just made me, in a weird way, I was sort of thrown in the deep end at 16, because I had so much faith in knowing that people were gonna come, based on my efforts. That that's how I started getting into events. Then initially it was just more focusing on my DJing after I finished that little college event, and I was just trying to find myself in music. Wasn't really sure around 17, 18 what genre I wanted to go into. Like, I really enjoyed all genres, but there was a time when I was younger where, like, house music was what was like popping at that time, and I was gearing towards that, but for some reason something just didn't feel right with me playing house music. I like certain types of house. I'm not really a fan of club house, but I'm more like, like the commercial ones, and that, no disrespect to like Calvin Harris and them, but you know the ones you hear in the clubs. I'm more into like Amapiano, deep house, that sort of thing. So funky house as well, garage, that sort of and then I just slowly just started falling in love with that sort of music, and then came to Birmingham for uni. And interestingly enough, it's crazy because people see like the festivals, they see the big events and stuff, but when we first started, there was only about 20 people, and we were selling tickets for like £1, and we were flyering, and what I'm so grateful for as well is see the people that came to the first event, they still come now.
Love that.
Yeah, do you get what I'm trying to say? So
loyalty, man. Yeah,
man. So it was one of those ones where we were just doing events at a small scale, and in an odd way, I actually prefer it. Yeah. I prefer it when it was just like, it was very intimate. We still have intimate events as well, aside from like the big day parties and the festivals. But we've got some small intimate events. We do like free events. We do like karaoke night and all of that stuff. And those sort of free events, there's just something about intimate, like 100 people, 150 people. I'm sure you can relate.
I feel like you can really get the vibe better. I think you can mingle with the crowd, and also if you meet new people, they tend to know someone else who's there. Mm-hmm. So you kind of feel that, like, well, if you're friends with them, that means you're safe. That means you're cool. Yeah. When there's quite a lot of people, you're like, fuck, I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, where to start. Yeah, because usually when people come in, they're trying to figure out what to do, innit? Yeah. But I think when it's like an intimate setting, you don't really have much of a choice but to like sort of mingle with people and make friends. And so that's how I started events, small scale. And I'm very grateful. I'm very fortunate to be in a position where, I'm able to like have a voice for my community, and literally like just put on like, it's crazy because a lot of events and ideas have come from just people coming up to me saying, "Oh, you know what, you should do that. Oh, you should do a karaoke night. Oh, you should, and when you're listening to them and you're like, you know what, yeah, let's do it. Or let's do a sports day. You should do, all these things." And it's like, I'm fortunate enough that I have the resources and the team to be able to like execute other people's ideas as well. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I think as well that this is what you get from events, and you'll know as well. You know so many people who they're kind of almost like doing the legwork themselves. Like, but you're into that, and you're into that. We've kind of got an event already. We've already got it going. Karaoke, mate. Like, I was asking Poppy about that because she with the rainbow. She's like, "Yo, it's a vibe, man. I love karaoke, bro."
Yeah, it really is. So yeah, it really is, man.
Are you singing?
Nah.
I'm just. You gotta be singing.
You know what it is? When people see me at karaoke night, I'm literally working. I'm literally running around. Obviously, I'm fortunate that I've got a good team. Yeah. But like, man, I'm just trying to make sure. And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize. You can relate, and a lot of event organizers can. Like, it's everyone experiences a great event, but they don't realize the madness that happens during the event. Man. Do you get what I'm trying to say? To make sure that everyone doesn't see what's going on, if that makes sense.
It's crazy.
And when we say madness, we're not talking about trouble. We're talking about like, just example, like equipment not working.
The worst.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? There's just so many things that happens during events and stuff that like, yeah, man. And it's never the same. You can't predict it.
I remember, I don't really DJ,
Yeah.
but there was a point where I was practicing and I kind of got all right.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, I'm going to jump on first. You know, we're not really that busy at the start of the night, so I'll jump on. And all I remember was like within probably about 5 minutes, security are like, you need to come upstairs, bro.
Yeah, man. There's always someone that says, I know the promoter. Could you? You know, there's always something in it. And you know what? My team can vouch for this. They always tell me to stay away from the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always say stay away from the doors.
I'm back on the doors, man.
Serious.
I'm back on it, yeah.
I like it because, you know, you're able to, you know, I personally feel like, you know, when someone's first encounter when they enter an event usually dictates the experience. So the people that do doors for us, we always make sure to tell them that, look, you need to greet all our customers like properly, very welcoming and stuff, because, you know, that's the start of the night. So, you know, and I get what you're saying, where it's like, oh, you can see someone, oh, where have you been? It's been a long time. Give them a hug, all of that stuff. But there's also instances where like people don't have tickets and they think, you know, they've got this imaginary guest list, you know. So
all about the imaginary guest list.
Yeah, do you get what I'm trying to say? So
for me, I've started doing it again only because I quite like the initial first encounter with someone who's come in. So, you know, if I see one of the lads who's got like a cool coat on, I'm like, where'd you get that coat from?
Yeah.
I know I can sort of give off a good vibe for people going in.
Yeah.
And if there's anyone who's new, and I know they're new, like I wouldn't.
Oh yeah.
If they're young, you can tell like someone's quite inexperienced for going out. I'll have a bit of fun with them, you know, like, and just try and make that initial first encounter just as fun as it can be, really. Yeah. But then on the other hand, I'm going, shit, I need to be
doing other stuff as well, innit?
Yeah, and then I keep running around like a nutter.
Yeah. You know what's even really nice as well, when I see, especially when I'm at the doors and I see someone and I'm like, oh, you haven't been here like a couple of years, and they're like, oh, how do you know? Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's like, it's nice. You see their faces and they're like, oh, you remember me? Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I'm like, of course, you know. I
think sometimes people would just think initially, because you're the guy who does the event, you got so many things going on, that you don't realise these things, but no, you really do.
No, you do. And I think that's what's important when it comes to being an event organizer. Like, you always have to put your customers first, put your community first, always listen to them, you know. And we've always had this thing where, like, our slogan is, well, it's good people, good vibes, but that's to the public. But to us as a team, we've always said, as long as it's fun, we will do it. Yeah. So whatever it may be, as long as we can make it fun, then we'll do it. Whether that's day parties, we're playing games, we're playing musical chairs, karaoke night, obviously karaoke speaks for itself, sports day, like wheelbarrow race, egg and spoon race. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, as long as it's fun, like, we will do stuff. So whether we've done like brand activations with like Gymshark, Ray and Nephew and so on, we always say to them, look, as long as we can have an element of like it being fun, then we'll do it.
I think what's great about that as well is, as we get older, sometimes, you know, those kind of events do tend to disappear.
Yeah.
The older you get, and it's great that you're bringing that back and you're making it cool, man.
Yeah, man. I'm very wary of the word cool, you know. You know why? Because the word cool just gives off like, I know this is not your intention, but it's like, you know, sense of exclusivity. Like, okay. I like everyone and anyone is welcome. Yeah. And I don't think anyone is more important than anyone else, if that makes sense. Yeah, like, because when you look at it at the end of the day, if you strip everything back, which is people, innit? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's one of them ones where like, we just try to make it as welcoming as possible. And to be fair, a lot of events in Brum are starting to adopt that approach as well. Yeah. Where it's like, it's no longer about it being the cool kids coming to the events, or, you know, the promoter not being accessible. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think it happens a lot in Digbeth. I think Digbeth, all the promoters and event organisers in Digbeth, shout out all the events in Digbeth. Like, I feel like we have a sense of community. Yeah. And even like with the promoters themselves, like, I don't really see much competition. Like, I don't see people competing with each other. I see people everyone has their own space. And everyone's just like showing love to each other, and like, and like, it's like we're all we're all like intertwined. Example, like I will know a venue manager, you will know the same venue manager, but you have just as much of a good relationship as a venue manager as me. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like I just feel like in Digbeth, everyone's just like trying to work together.
It's good, man. I think I remember when I first started out with the events, you do get overwhelmed with, or I definitely did, with the venues, and you know, some people might be like, oh, you're friends with that person.
Yeah.
And like, then I was just like, oh, what does that even mean? Like, just put a fucking event on.
Yeah.
But I think definitely the last, what year are we in now? I'd say definitely the last 4 or 5 years, people just know that the hospitality event organisers, we all need each other, man, because it can work without a venue, but you do need each other. And also, like, I definitely, like the Rainbow, I need the Rainbow. I love the Rainbow. They've been nothing but the best people for my brand. Really.
Shout out Jimmy.
Man.
Yeah, what people don't realise, sorry to interrupt you, is, you see, this is a message to all the venue owners, like, you see your staff, it's not really the venue that keeps the promoters there, it's the staff.
Yeah, man.
So, like, there's instances where, like, I've done events at the Rainbow, and I've only done it because it's Jimmy, like, and the staff.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's not necessarily the venue or the space, it's more, the space is lovely, by the way, at the Rainbow, but I mean, it's the people. You know, and I always have the conversation with Nick, the owner, and Jimmy, and I'm like, oh, I wish you guys had a bigger venue, man. Because if you guys had a bigger venue, like, I wouldn't really be going anywhere else. You know what I'm trying to say? Also, shout out all the venues you work with as well, before everyone starts getting their feelings. But, you know, it's, man. Like, just to interrupt you there, like, Jimmy's a solid guy, man.
Even, like, there's people who work behind the bar who are so chill. So cool, so warm, and like, you know, I do get a free Guinness as well. And I'm like, I shouldn't be, but thank you.
You know, you'd be surprised. You know, some venues don't even give you riders.
No.
Like, or drinks vouchers, or
no.
It's crazy, man.
But
that's a conversation for another time.
I think we went back to the Rainbow in 2022, and I sort of think after COVID was quite anxious about how it's going to go, all this, that, and the other. And, you know, someone like Jimmy just calms everything down. Yeah. Helps you with those little things where it's like, oh, there's some wristbands, because I fucking always forget wristbands. And, like, it's those little things that help me just stay in event management mode.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of love and respect for Nick, Jimmy, Clem, everyone, all of them. They're great.
Yeah, man.
So what I also want to talk about was I've been browsing on your website, mate.
We need to update it, man. I'm not going to lie to you, man.
That is the coolest website come on, man. And some of the competitions you've got going on, bro. We need to talk about Paris.
Yeah, man. We're doing a giveaway to Paris. We've done, what have we done? We've done Italy. We've done the Canary Islands.
What?
And we're doing a giveaway for Paris with Disneyland tickets and hotel and travel. Yeah, man. And accommodation. Yeah, hotel. But yeah, man.
You won't be getting that with some seller. You'll be going straight to like Bullring, 1 star.
You know what? You know what's interesting about these competitions? And this is just some because I guess we're here to share gems as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of promoters miss the trick when it comes to competitions because example, let's just say we're doing a Canary Island giveaway. It might cost us maybe £400, but when you really deep it, like the £400, you would have spent that on like a DJ lineup.
Yeah.
Or do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's like that £400 will go further with the fact that you've got thousands of people tagging their friends and sharing it on socials. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's just like it's like perfect marketing. Because when you look at like the insights of like the posts, and it's like, okay, 70,000 people just found out about. Do you know what I mean? And you're also increasing your following as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like sometimes it's not. Don't necessarily look at the holiday. Just look at it as like, all right, I'm spending £400 or £500 on something, and this is my expected returns. You feel me? So.
Just like one of them. Just think how many people are going to see your brand, and
yeah, man.
And then click on your Instagram and scroll down and just see. Oh, actually, this is a bit of me. When's the next event? And I mean, Canary Islands, that, mate. There's some serious trips, bro. Serious.
You know what? People have
trips.
been saying I need to do Dubai and all of that, but we ain't got the coins yet. You know. We ain't got the coins yet. And yeah, man, it's yeah, I'm just grateful, man. I'm just grateful that we have the resources to be able to do these things.
Mate, it's amazing.
Yeah, man.
It's amazing. And when I sort of step back and I've looked at the social media and everything that you're doing, like I feel like I can see all coming together.
Oh, you see it. You see it. Okay, you see it. That's good. It's an ecosystem where people are. Yeah, I'm glad you see it.
Mate,
I'm glad you see it.
I was like this earlier, going, this guy, man.
Yeah, you see it. That's good, man. That's good.
I want to talk about how you developed the festival, because you've been doing, you've been box out sessions, box out gigs. Mm-hmm. How is the festival? Where did you go? Right, we're going to do a festival now. This is huge.
Yeah. So when we were doing day parties and we were doing it every month, and we was hitting about 600-700 people, and again, as I said from the beginning, it's about listening to people. We have something called Vibe Check, where we have a presenter who goes around and asks our audience, our community questions and stuff. And one of the customers said, "Oh, you know what Buxley need to do? They need to do a festival." And
light bulb moment.
Yeah. Literally, when they said that, I was like, you know what, they might be right. And sometimes it's about, when your customers say something, it's like, I don't think you should ever not take it seriously.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because sometimes as promoters, we assume what people would want.
Yeah.
But if someone's saying that, there must have been conversations being had about, you know what, they need to do a festival.
Well, they can see the potential already. Yeah,
man. And it initially came up with just a customer speaking, and it's crazy to think about it, because one thing that I need to work on is being able to be proud of what I'm doing, if that makes sense.
I get that.
Like, I'm always like trying to like better myself every day, always trying to achieve something else. But then life has happened. There's been a lot of things that's happened in my life over the last year or two that's made me realize that, you know what, you should be proud of your achievements. And sometimes I deep it and I'm like, yeah, we actually have our own festival. And yeah, man, and it's crazy because there's moments. So when we first did the first festival, I guess we're gonna have conversations about venues as well, about like being able to secure venues and stuff. But when we first had our first festival, it felt right. It felt right. We did it at Lunar Springs. Shout out John and the Lunar Springs lot.
Great spot, man.
Yeah, man. And we were looking at, because that same year we were doing a headline Made Festival, so as a DJ. So we did that. We did Made Festival. We did a takeover for the Sunday with Sean Paul, and then 2 months later we did a festival, and we didn't do the same numbers, but we filled out Lunar Springs, so we did 2,500.
Amazing.
But I know Made Festival did about 4.5. But then it made me realize that, hold on, like, we don't need to be doing like takeovers for like other festivals and stuff. Like,
no.
We need to be doing our own festivals. And then we did it again last year, and we sold out like 2-3 weeks before. I'm convinced that we could have done 4,500 last year. And we're working on things for this year to see if we can do 4.5. If we can do 4.5, but it's about securing the venues, different venues, and the like road closures and all of that stuff. Then we'll officially be like Birmingham's biggest festival. And it's crazy to think that from like parties that had like 20 people,
it's amazing,
to like doing festivals, doing like events in London, doing events in just different places, working with a lot of big brands. We've done a lot of brand collaborations with Gymshark, Rare Nephew, Treasure Tress. There's quite a few, to be fair. And yeah, man, it's just kind of crazy to think that like, it's just a couple of people just having fun, and like we've just been able to like impact so many people. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's
a great story, bro. It really is. And like when you've said, you've done stuff with Ray Nephew, Gymshark. I've done similar things myself, and I'm like I have to sort of go, this is a bit.
Yeah.
I kind of out of my comfort zone, really. Like I was never expecting for this kind of.
Yeah.
Like we did stuff with Bacardi years ago, and I want to think about it. It's like, what do they possibly want? But
Yeah, I think what they want is communities. A lot of these brands, they want to tap into communities, and the problem with Birmingham is we don't have enough communities. It's getting there now.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's why a lot of brands would like go London, they'll go Manchester, but they will miss Birmingham. Like even if you look at artists as well, like they go on tours and they never go to Birmingham. And I think it
gets missed loads, man.
Yeah. And I think it's because we don't have that ecosystem yet. It's bubbling and it's getting there. But I feel like people that have events like ourselves, we have communities that people can tap into. So an artist can be like, oh, you know what? I want to do my Brum leg. Let me shout out Box Out.
Yeah.
Let me shout some sellout. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's that sort of situation where now promoters are now realizing that it's about building communities. It's not necessarily just putting on events for anyone and everyone. It's about putting events for a specific audience and catering to them and trying to scale it. And that's why we've been able to, example, our collaboration with Gymshark wasn't because Gymshark wanted to tap into Birmingham. It was because it was Black History Month. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they wanted to spotlight personal trainers and give them a space to showcase themselves to an audience. So they were obviously looking to tap into the Black community for Black History Month, and it happened that Box Out was the. Do you get what I mean? It was a collab with Trap House as well, so big up Trap House.
Big up Trap House.
Yeah, big up Trap House. Kieran, Sham, and Jams. And with Ray Nephew.
Saucy dudes, man.
Yeah, man. And just to touch on with like Ray Nephew, the reason I'm trying to explain why these brands, because I think a lot of promoters, our problem is sometimes we don't understand how to obtain these brand deals. But even with Ray Nephew, they were doing an activation called Yard Takeover, and it was like they needed to tap into an audience in Brum, and they reached out to us. Another example is Treasure Tress. They're a black hair company, and they did a few activations in Birmingham. They wanted to tap into Black women, and they needed a community to tap into, and they thought, okay, that's Box Out. So just to let all these event organizers know and promoters, it's about focusing on like your community, and then these brands, it'll be easier for you to secure these brand deals.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. And sometimes you have to give before you take.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like now I know for a fact no brand can come to me with no money. But in the past, you know, we had to like do some stuff where they were only giving us like drinks and stuff. But now we're in a position where like, you know, if you're not coming with that serious money, we're not having that conversation because we know what we bring, and we know the community, we know our community.
You know your worth, man.
Yeah. But most importantly, it's they follow us. You know, like whatever we do, they support, and like they will they will tap in.
I think what's interesting as well is you've probably had people who've come to your event, so you don't necessarily know, and someone will introduce you to someone and say, oh, this guy's working as a marketing manager at some company, and you're like, oh my God. And then they're coming to you with an idea. And you're like, okay.
You know, you're touching on something because, and that's what I said about, it's not about being like too cool or anything, because a lot of promoters don't realize that their customers have jobs, and their customers work for certain brands. I'll give an example. Lunar Springs. We were trying to secure Lunar Springs for a while. Well, we had a conversation with them, and we weren't really making any progress until one of the people from the head office attended the event as a customer. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And then we had her on Instagram, and then like we just started having a conversation, and that just like fast tracked all the like, you know, conversations with this person and that person. To get what I'm trying to say, and then
if it could always be like that.
That would be sick. But that's just a lesson. Like, you know, you just don't know who's who. Yeah. And just because someone might not have a big social media profile or big social media following, or they're not doing anything like amazing, well, perceived to be amazing on social media, that doesn't necessarily mean they can't be of value. You know.
So something I've noticed as well, which is always bonkers, is people who used to like first come to some seller, they might have then gone to uni. Yeah. So you sort of lose a little bit of contact, but you know them. Then they've come back a few years later and been like, oh, I'm doing this now for
and it's sick.
We want to get you involved, and I'm like, hang on a minute. You was like,
off your face.
That young person off your face.
It's true.
It is truly incredible. And what I used to do a lot as well was, I kind of always tried to find out who was making things happen. Not to say it like I'd try and do it in London or whatever. But me and Brad, who used to run some cellar, we'd find a way to like, we're going to come down, and we'd end up backstages at places we shouldn't even be backstage at.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm double daring myself to go and talk to that person.
Yeah, man.
And even sometimes it wouldn't always pay off.
Yeah.
But I would have done something that was either, that was going to create a memory or a fun experience where we could at least have a conversation, or we follow each other on Instagram, or you see each other at a festival that you're going to be attending, and you've always got something then.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think it's also important as promoters as well. Like, I think the good thing about a lot of the promoters that I know, like my peers and stuff, is we don't get starstruck, and I think that's probably one of the most key things, because at the end of the day, people are people. Yeah. So let's just say, just because someone's a well-known artist, doesn't mean they're any better than you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You should still be able to have a conversation with them. If you're in the same space as them, in the same room as them, why can't you have a conversation with them? Do you know what I mean?
I think sometimes you forget that they are the same as you as well. So if someone comes with a cool idea, or someone mentioned Box Out Festival, and they're also after some kind of inspiration as well. So if you say something that's going to be of interest, or something you can collaborate on, you know what, they might go, but we was thinking about someone like you or a brand like yours. And it's I always say to people who are just starting out, you never know.
You never know, man. You never know.
That's why it's always good to keep good relationships with people as well in this industry, and just keep pushing, man. Keep pushing and meeting people and networking. And
it's interesting what you said about the uni students as well. I think a lot of promoters, we tend to sometimes get a bit complacent with thinking that the customers are always going to be there. We have a strategy in place where we target. So the average age is probably like 25, 26. But a lot of our marketing and promotion is targeting like 21, 22-year-olds, because we understand that, in order for us to stay sustainable, like, we need to be targeting the younger generation, not younger generation, but the younger people that are going out. Because, as you get older, people have kids, people get married, people have girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever it may be. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, just have more responsibilities.
And they drop off, man.
Yeah, and then that's when it becomes an issue, because then you're like, where is everyone? But it's like, you have to cater towards like the younger audiences, and I think that's one thing that I would definitely like recommend people to do, man. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think as well, I've been quite lucky with it as well. I've noticed so many new faces come through, and there's some loyal people from day one that are there.
Yeah.
It blows my mind seeing them like sort of next to each other.
Yeah, man.
I think something because we've always been very tongue-in-cheek, and we have fun with Birmingham, and as long as we kind of keep Birmingham as like a focus, we will be okay, I think.
Yeah.
And obviously our DJs are sick, and the vibe's sick as well, so we always get content of the events itself. But I've still got like some little sub-brands which I'm ready to throw out there, which I think are going to be a bit silly and a bit fun. Yeah,
I think it's always good to always just try and like just give people something different, Yeah, man, because life is really lifing, man. I feel like, I don't know whether you've noticed, but the last year or two, I don't know whether it's maybe cost of living or whatever it may be, but things have been kind of gloomy. So like, people need a reason to dance, people need a reason to enjoy themselves, people need a reason to go out, and you don't realize that you're actually helping people's mental health. Definitely. You're helping people, you're creating like, do you know how beautiful it is, like, just knowing that you're creating a space for people to just be themselves and be happy and express themselves through music? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like it's so like I have a lot of respect for all the promoters, all the event organizers, venues, everything, because we're all playing our part.
I think I've been guilty of sort of, especially with some events when it's like ticket sales are close, and you get kind of wrapped up in the promoter side of stuff.
Yeah, man.
You don't really appreciate. Sometimes the event has to go by, and you go, you know what? No, that was good, man. And people were vibes in. Sometimes it can be stressful, but you are creating a great environment and an atmosphere for people
Yeah,
just to
man.
come and like just free themselves, really.
Yeah, man.
So, you know, big up everyone who comes down to all of our events. We know you see so many things over social media saying like venues closing. There's a lot of stuff that comes out where it is quite doom and gloom as well. But we also know that we are bringing great experiences to people, and for DJs as well. I feel that like I take a lot of pleasure seeing DJs going up there and smashing it. Like we've got DJs on our resident DJs who I think, God, I wish I could give you the main stage to the biggest festival ever. Like they're just in their moment playing the sickest set, and I feel like they deserve to be a star, especially in that moment. When you're a star.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love creating that experience.
Yeah, shout out all the DJs as well. I know it's not easy out there as a DJ. It's very competitive. I do feel like there's way too many DJs. However, like if that's your purpose, then that's your. I feel like any DJ that's maybe struggling, like if you're passionate about something, you know, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to want to jump on the wave. But if you're passionate about something, you're going to stick through it, and those people will filter out, and you will then eventually get your opportunity, as long as you're consistent. Do you know what I mean? And there's so much talent in Brum, man. Like there's so many sick DJs in Birmingham, and it's like, yeah, man. It's like I wish, similar to you, that you could help all of them, but I've got to a stage in life where like I can't help everyone.
You know when?
And I feel bad for it, by the way, that I can't help everyone, and it's like I probably have at least. This is no joke. Probably have about 130 DJs DMing me on Instagram saying, "Yeah, I'm ready," and it's like I only have X amount of events to do. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's like just to touch in with your comment on your resident DJs. It's like we have our resident DJs and they do a job, so it's like you can't really replace someone who does a job.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like you can have like extra openings, maybe 1 or 2 slots that you can then bring in new DJs, but at the same time, you can't bring someone who you've maybe never heard and swap them for someone that's been doing a job consistently, if that makes sense. And how do you feel about that?
And also, it's like you're building, unintentionally, a portfolio for the DJ. In a way, like you're giving that DJ fans, you're giving that DJ,
of course.
And that's important to build that. I'll always shout out our DJ Wordner. I genuinely feel like the best DJ I've seen. Yeah. And the once I got way too drunk, and I'm like, cornered him, and I'm like, mate, I wish I could do this for you. You know, I think you're the best. And he was just like, okay, dude. And then just got in his Uber and just went. And I was just standing there by the door at Hadley, just like, he's just left me like, that. But I see him when he'll do an hour and a half for us, and he will give it 110%. Yeah, man. All the wheel ups. Crowd's going crazy. Yeah, man. He's doing, so much energy, and it's difficult when I feel that like I just want to give him so much more. Yeah. I totally get what you're saying, and I think with that, you are giving him like the opportunity. You're giving him the space for him to express himself. And man, like, I think there's a fine line between having a. You know what? I think it's more. There just needs to be a bit more done to educate DJs and allow. So there needs to be like networking events for DJs to connect with each other, where they can share experiences. And I do genuinely believe that this whole crabs in a barrel mentality that the old school DJs had, it's slowly shifting away, because DJs are now realizing that you're better off doing collaborations. Yeah. That could look in doing an event together. That could be doing back-to-back sets. Yeah. There could be so many ways you can collaborate. Even in little stuff like Instagram allows you to do collaborative posts. Yeah. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So just having that sense of collaboration is key, because it's only going to move Birmingham forward. I personally feel that. Definitely. And it's only going to move that DJ forward as well. You're tapping into new audiences and stuff. And I feel like the DJs that understand that it's about collaboration rather than competition are the ones that get it. And I could say that the same about event organisers as well. Event organisers and promoters and venues, like, it's collaboration. The promoter is just as important as the venue.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
it's a collaborative effort, and I feel like Birmingham's starting to understand that. But I feel like it's more we've had to do that.
Yeah.
It's not a thing where someone has said, "Oh, we need to do this." I feel like people are realizing that, like venues are closing down. We need these promoters.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I don't know whether you can agree, but the power is sort of switched. Before, do you know what I mean? Like, because people don't go out on Friday and Saturday nights just to go out. They go to events.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like as promoters, like they need us more than ever.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone's going to be brave to say that, but it's true, isn't it?
I've had a few interesting messages over the last, this year, and it's kind of put me in a weird place because I did some seller 9th birthday, and I was sort of going through a really bad mental battle, really, with just events and everything as a whole. You know, the first time I've ever had to cancel an event was in June last year, and it weren't because the ticket sales were doing bad, because they weren't. It was just the anxiety roller coaster beforehand. I've never ever had to stop an event. I just said I can't do it.
Yeah.
I did the 9th birthday, and I sort of said to people, this could be the last one, because I don't know where.
Yeah.
If I've got it in me at the moment. That event, bro, I've never received so much like positivity, and actually felt like, you know what, I'm doing something really important here.
Yeah.
And I know we're on about something completely different.
Yeah. No.
So I'm so glad I'm so grateful that people, or I appreciate anyone who's messaging me now saying like, "Oh, would you want to come and do stuff at our venue?" Because I genuinely just kind of was so close to stopping everything.
Yeah.
And I've had some really, really interesting messages these last few weeks.
Yeah.
About collaborations with things that wouldn't have happened if I did say no.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed, these collaborations, it all gets signed off and we do them.
Yeah. Defo, man. Shout out to all the venues, especially the ones that believed in us at the start. Yeah, man. I feel like, people are starting to realise that, we bring the people, and, we bring our communities, and I think it's about time, like, everyone in this industry is starting to get mutual respect, you know. And that even comes from the cleaners in the toilets, to the bar staff, to the DJs, to the person in the doors. No one's more important than anyone.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's like we all have a role to play. Definitely. And even the people that are coming, shout out the people that turn up as well, man.
Definitely, big up, man.
Yeah, because, man, like, I got so much gems to share, man, but time, innit? Yeah, man.
I've got some funny stories and funny experiences with the bar staff at Hadley. They some of them really brought the vibe for me as well when we were doing some events in autumn. So I've got some great videos where I wish I could remember his name, but always come in and dance 110%, all energy, all in, and I'm filming the room like this, and I could just see him in the middle like this, and then he was like carrying the tray, and then he said, "Was you filming that then?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh shit, man, I was meant to be working, bro." But I'd already put it up on the social.
That one's
He weren't in trouble. He wasn't in trouble. I was like, this guy brings the vibe. He needs to make sure he has a little dance when we need him. But 100% in terms of everyone from the bar staff to cleaners, we all need each other, and we all need to give each other that respect, because something that you do very well is community. You do box out community. You've done stuff with C for Fireside. That's a very, very big collaboration, or a big charity in Birmingham. So can I just ask how that experience was for you?
Yeah, so we have a brand called Box Out Community, where we do like free initiatives. So we've been fortunate enough to like have a community that really rolls with us, supports us, and it's just a way of us giving back. So we thought, you know what, like that could be from like our sports days to our live music events, where it's free entry. So we've actually been doing this. It's called jam sessions, we've been doing this for about 5 years now, where it's always free entry, but you just have to donate an item of clothing. So rather than paying a ticket, we've just said, you know what, there's a real problem with like homelessness in Birmingham. So just bring some clothes that you're trying to get rid of, or you think that, you know, could help someone. And yeah, man, and that's what we've been doing. This is actually our second time we've collaborated with them. And yeah, man, we had so many sick volunteers, man. Shout out to all the volunteers as well, because it wouldn't have been possible with all the volunteers. And it really just showed the community like really pulling through. And the event was a success. The artists performed really well. We had some serious artists as well. Sanity, Ade.
Big up Sanity, man.
Indigo,
big up Fort Dunlop.
Indigo Marshall. Sipo as well. Sheddy. We had a lot of people, man. A lot of sick artists. And yeah, they pulled up. You know, they took their time out to support.
Good lineup, bro.
Yeah, man. And everyone pulled through. And also Kezia Soul as well, before I forget people. Like the talent is mad in Birmingham. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's serious.
Yeah, man. And Emil Carter as well. The talent is crazy, and everyone had a sick time listening to live music and giving back to the community. And we want to carry that on. You know, I feel like we have a responsibility. Well, I feel like I have a responsibility in the position I'm in, where like if you can, you should. And, you know, growing up, there wasn't really anyone that was like doing stuff that wasn't necessary about like immediate gain. Yeah. That makes sense. So like I've always said to myself that I'm going to help as many upcoming DJs. I'm going to play my part in the community. If I have the means to do so, I'm going to do so. And I've just been fortunate enough that people genuinely support what we do, and I have a team that believes in like they allow me to like come up with these crazy ideas, and then we just get things moving. And yeah, man, and shout out Fireside for collecting the clothes, but they have to do that.
Yeah.
But the people that turned up didn't have to turn up. The people that donated didn't have to donate. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So it's like, yeah, man, it's just ultimate respect for them, man.
I think as well with that charity, I did something very, very similar. Went out around Christmas time. Yeah. Saw it firsthand at Birmingham, and you're giving clothes out to people. Like, it was a really crazy, good experience. But you're like, fuck, man, like, it's quite hard. It's quite difficult to see, man. It was really emotional. Yeah. I went home after. I was like,
it's mad.
I couldn't even talk, man. I was lost, man.
Yeah, it makes you grateful, and you know what, and because we've done this homeless thing quite a few times, we've taken a lot of learnings from it. Yeah. Like, just to be honest myself, like when we first started doing it, like we had good intentions, but it rubbed people off the wrong way because we were taking pictures. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And a few people had mentioned it to me, even though the intention was good. Yeah. It was just we were trying to like spotlight and tell people like, look, there's more that can be done. Let's do more. Yeah. Like, we're doing this. There's more. But I realized that like it doesn't necessarily need to be like don't take pictures of the people. You know what I mean? You get what I'm trying to say? And it's like hence why we didn't really do. We did a drop off where we were giving them like food. Sanitary stuff, deodorant, all of that stuff. But like it was more like the team. We took pictures of the team packing rather than the team giving it to people. Yeah. Does that make sense? It's
a good learning curve, though.
Yeah, man. Really. Yeah, man. Because it's like sometimes you want to do good and your intentions are good, but you realize that sometimes there's different ways to do things.
Kind of feel it must be painful when people are like, you've done that wrong, and you're like, man, I'm just doing a good thing.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like you're literally just trying to help. They're trying to help, but at the same time, I still feel like people saying these things. Like, I feel like there's learnings from everything.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? There's learnings from everything.
I think stepping back, looking at what you're doing and the brands and the networking events, the community, everything looks so healthy. It looks so fun. It looks so positive, and I kind of felt nervous like talking to you because I feel like I'm way more chaotic than you. Like in terms of, I feel like you're very strategic.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm strategic, but I also taught myself out of a lot of stuff at the moment. I think I've just fucked myself up a little bit to be.
Nah, you haven't, man. It's just nah. You haven't. You know what it is? There's been moments in life, yeah, and there's been moments where I've had a feeling not to do it, and I've just done it, and I've realised that those moments when I've just done it has been so pivotal, and they've been like key moments in the development of like these brands.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it reminded me that, you see, when it's getting really tough and you're thinking, maybe not, you should just do it.
Yeah.
You should just do it. That's one thing that I think people would say I'm very good at. I just do things, you know. And but like I said, it's also I have a team. I'm fortunate to have a team, and I'm fortunate enough that my team. I've got a sidekick that people don't really know about, but they do know about him. His name's called Dre.
Big up Dre.
Yeah, man, and like Dre has been so like, because the thing is, it's crazy how what you're saying about me, because I'm a doer, but Dre's a very strategic person. So Dre has made me see things a bit different. So like when I'm doing things, Dre's always said to me, "But why are you doing this?" Like he's like created some sort of organized. Like I live in chaos, and then Dre's like sort of like fine tuned a lot of stuff, which I'm very grateful for, because you know, like he's my friend who genuinely helps me, but he's also someone that adds a lot of value, and I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for him. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for my team. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But more importantly, Dre, you know, so anyone that like is doing events or, you know, trying to scale things up, like, you know, sometimes it's the people who are your friends that genuinely believe in your brand, and like, because he comes from a branding background, but he doesn't do nothing in events, but we've applied so much stuff and applied so much of his knowledge into events.
Well, you can see. I can see the vision, man.
Yeah, man.
Just on that as well. At the moment, I've got no team.
Okay.
I'm doing everything. That right. If anyone wants to get in touch and thinks they can get involved with some seller or, you know, any content or branding, I'm putting it out there because I've got a lot of ideas. I'm throwing them down. Now if I finish work, I'm just trying to just get on Canva or get artwork going. I'm trying to just get it all going, but there's not enough time now. And I know we're doing some sellers like 10 years. I've got some serious ideas I want to put down and get done this year.
Yeah, man.
Otherwise, you know, I don't think I can keep going.
Yeah, man.
If you know anyone wants to get involved, drop me a message.
No, I've got a tip.
Open.
I've actually got a tip for you. How I've been able to build my team, it's seeing potential in people. I've been able to, I think that's one of my like superpowers, being able to see people like before they become so established. So, you know, there's people who didn't have any experience in social media, and I've just taken an interest in them, and I've invested a lot of time, equipment into them, and just allowing them to make mistakes and stuff. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So sometimes your team might even be in your customer base. It might be people that attend your event. Yeah. And that's probably the best thing, because what you want people that believe in a brand. So we've had team members who were customers at Box Out, and now they're team members. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So it's about, I think your team members are closer than you think.
They're your biggest enthusiasts, really.
Yeah.
You know, they're fans,
yeah. They're advocates of your brand. And that's what I'm trying to say. You might have a team within your core audience that turn up to your events. You just don't know. So I think definitely putting a call out. You never know who would message you and say they want to get involved.
I think what we're gonna have to do. I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours. Quick shout out to Punch Records as well. Punch Records, what you're doing for Brum, for creatives, artists is incredible. I love you. The Community Roots project was probably one of my highlights last year for me. Even though my group were that good, right? Yeah. They sent me to the shop. I don't know if you know about this. I know you was a mentor for my creative production group. They were so organised. They said, you know, considering you don't have to do that much now, do you want to just run out to the shop and get us some bits for the main show? I said to Nikki, Nikki, surely I don't just go to the shop. She went, no, you should stay with the group. And then I thought, no, I'll get to the shop. They're good. So, but the final event that we did on that Friday it almost brought a tear to my eye, because especially after the year I had and the things that was going on, it was really special for me to see a group that
Yeah.
were really enthusiastic, that really pulled together and could organise themselves and collaborate with so many other departments within that project was really nice.
Yeah, man. Big up you for would you say facilitating it? Is that
Facilitating it, and I just think that it was about, for me, was seeing who was good in that group, who's
yeah.
okay, your strength, you're a good communicator. This person was good at leading. This person was great at. One of the girls was really good at. I don't know how you do, but getting like sizing the room up and
Yeah. That's it.
She's showing me. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, man.
But they're a really cool group, and I love Punch. I think they're wicked. So big up Punch. But that also on that quickly as well. The way I saw you talk to the group was so precise.
Yeah.
So much conviction. I was like, fucking hell, man, you're the real deal, man.
Nah, man. Not even, man. I've just, got a passion for like creating spaces where people can be great. So if I can be part of that, then I'm all in. You know what I mean? Like, and people can speak. People can vouch for me. I have a passion for people, and I hope it continues to yeah.
I think it will. I like. This year is going to be insane for you. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
man.
I feel like if we're able to secure funding, because none of our stuff's funding, all our free events is all self-paid. So all our networking events, all our karaoke nights, all our sports days, it's all from money we make from our day parties that we just reinvest into the community. But I do believe that when we do get some sort of funding, we are working towards it. We've got someone who's helping us with the bids now.
You're all going to get funding, man.
Yeah, man. I feel like once we do that, I feel like we'll be able to make so much more of an impact in the community, man. Because we're already doing that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
I've semi-put an application in for funding.
Yeah.
First time ever.
Was it the PRS one?
PRS.
Yeah. You need to speak to a bidder. People do bids. The people that have jobs that actually do bids.
I was going to say, I feel like they're going to push back on me because
what?
I'm writing it down. I'm writing the application almost as if I'm talking to them.
No. There's a. I was told that there's a way to they look for certain keywords.
Yeah.
That's why you have bid writers.
Tell me this. Don't tell everyone this because I won't get no funding. Everyone else will get it.
Yeah, bid writers, man. Like, you need to, because I didn't even know this was a thing. When I was in events, because I come from a commercial background, so my day job, I was working for a creative agency in music and culture.
Yeah.
So hence why I'm able to apply so many stuff to my events. But like, I never knew funding was a thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never knew it was. And then so people started saying, "Oh, you can get money for this." Oh, I'm like, huh? Like, because I was thinking to myself, the money should be going to the youth clubs.
Yeah.
The money should be going to, and I still stand by that, by the way. Like,
Bring
the
back
money
youth clubs, man.
The money should be going to youth clubs. The money should be going to. But at the same time, I do understand that there's like creative arts council and stuff, and I just realized that there's so much money out there, and like there's people like us who are doing stuff like on the ground that have communities that we could be doing like some financial support could go a long way, man.
It tends to go to the same people. It falls in the same pockets, but I think things will change now. I remember Elijah. We did an event with Elijah. I know. We did an event with Elijah at Hadley Social Club, and that was on my bucket list to get that done. And
Sick.
I'm proud as fuck about that. He said that something like, and it really shocked everyone. He went, "Do you know that in Birmingham only something like 4% have applied for funding out of the whole
crazy.
UK? Something crazy like that. Something mad like that, isn't it?
That is mad.
That was like one of his openers.
But you know what it is? It's lack of like, is it access, knowledge? Because the people who are applying for these funding, I personally believe, and this could be controversial, but I personally believe that the people that are applying for funding, are I stand by what I'm saying about there's nothing wrong with applying for funding, but the people who are applying for funding, I personally believe that they are applying for funding to make a living, not necessarily to serve the community. So the problem with that now is that you're taking money out of someone else's mouth. Yeah. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So they're not going to share that information because there's only a limited amount of money allocated to Birmingham. So they're going to want to try and grab as much of that pie as possible because they're making a living off that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So they're not going to share this information.
And they know how to do it once they've done it once.
And they're not going to share that information. But shout out to everyone. Shout out to the people that share this information and genuinely want to see Birmingham grow, because it's not about a few people having the access to these funds. It's the community and people from different spaces being able to access these funds so we can serve the community in a better way, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Right, on that note, big up everyone who tuned in, listen, books. What we kicked off this year with a seriously sick guest,
Yeah,
big
man.
up Buxley, man. Thank you so much for coming down, bro.
Yeah, man. I just want to give a shout out as well, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, shout out the Box Out team. That's everyone in the team. Shout out the Nollyway team as well. Shout out the Box Out Fest team.
Jeez.
Shout out the Box Out community team. Yeah, man, and shout out everyone that supports me, man. I really do appreciate it, man. From the bottom of my heart, man. I see Birmingham really pulling up for me, and yeah, man, I really appreciate it, man. And yeah, man, there's a lot that we're gonna do for you guys. So yeah, man.